One of the most interesting games of the day for all the wrong reasons, guys. The Colts playoff chances out the window. The Giants picking number 1 chances potentially fully out the window. Drew Lock goes off, completes 17 of 23 passes. It's a real phrase for championship weekend. Over 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. And, Jay, this was really on the back of the rookie and Malik Nabers, who 171 yards, 2 touchdowns, explosive plays, making guys miss. He was just phenomenal in this game.
Yeah, did a ton of work after the catch off of short passes, taking it to the house. And yeah, and there has been, and we've talked about it a lot too, like Brian Thomas Jr. has kind of emerged somewhat as the story over Nabers until yesterday of the rookie wide receiver class, both of them in front of Marvin Harrison Jr. just on performance this year. But Nabers reminded everyone why he was taken in the first 6 picks, and he's going to be a monster so long as he gets competent quarterback play. You know, I was watching this game yesterday, I was seeing there has to be some sort of betting angle here because it was such a unique situation where the Giants are up 28-13, and in theory they're desperate to lose the game, and the Colts are desperate to win to stay alive in the playoff race. But then you watch it, and it's like, well, the issue is that the Colts are just terrible.
Defense was atrocious.
The missed tackles are insane.
Outside of, sorry, Connor, but outside of your Jets, the Colts are probably the most embarrassing team going, just with everything, like 45 points to the Giants.
To this version of the Giants.
Yeah, like, look, Flacco, you knew he was going to throw some picks, but 33 points is enough to, and what Jonathan Taylor did and has been doing for like the past 3 or 4 weeks running the ball was enough to win. Like, defense, come on, man. 45 points to the Lock Man. Yeah, I just gave him that nickname, the Lock Man.
The Locksmith?
The Locksmith monster. I mean, imagine if you told somebody Sunday morning, all right, here's the 3 stat lines you need to know for the Colts. Jonathan Taylor is going to get 32 carries. He's going to run for 125 yards and 2 touchdowns. Michael Pittman and Alec Pierce are both going to score a touchdown and both go over 100 yards. And then you go, and the Colts lost. And it was they had no answers.
How
does game?
Jonathan Taylor get 32 carries and a double-digit loss? Double-digit loss to the
32
Giants.
carries tells you, like, we're winning the game and we're trying to, like,
the game was over in the second quarter.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
look, you see it. He's running back 1 this week.
He's quietly been a monster the past 3 games.
Probably more. He's went for at least 90 yards the past 4 games, maybe 5 games.
He's going to be an interesting player to draft next season because I think he has to be a first rounder off of what he has shown. And the O-line will be healthier. It's probably going to be the Anthony Richardson show again next season.
He's going to get another year.
Yeah, I think he has to. Particularly, I mean, Anthony Richardson has had his flaws, but I think showed enough in the final month to go back to the well there. I don't think Joe Flacco's going to.
The crazy thing about Jonathan Taylor, too, he ended last year like this with 5 games, scoring every game, averaging over 100 yards rushing. But this year, it wasn't good during the season, especially the fantasy season for people who drafted him in fantasy leagues like myself. But he's ended the season on a great note again. So you like to just see Anthony Richardson get to work on himself this offseason. Jonathan Taylor come in healthy and kind of start off next season like he ended this season. And then you might be working with something because the AFC South is not great. The Colts had ample chances to win this division, but because they're this bad, they couldn't take a chance to seize that opportunity.
It is so jarring that if Taylor doesn't drop that touchdown when he's running into the end zone against Denver, the Colts go up 20-6 in that game. That game was done. Like, Bo Nix was seeing ghosts out there. He was having an awful day. I don't think the Broncos were going to come back. And then the Broncos are effectively eliminated from the playoffs, coupled with their next 2 losses. And then the Colts, it's just a bizarre season overall.
It's crazy. Because you're not having Adonai Mitchell throw a pass either.
Yeah, well, that was absurd. Does Steichen, does he come back?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, because I always ask this when people ask that question, would he get a head coaching job right away? I think the answer is yes. Yeah. So when because this was the Stefanski question all year, when everybody was like, man, are the Browns going to fire Stefanski and just try to keep Vrabel there? And everybody was like, well, if they did, Stefanski would have a job 2 hours later in 5 different places. I know Steichen doesn't deserve that level of praise.
I would say Stefanski would get one way before Steichen would.
But I still look at this offense and go, man, like, he's a good coach.
Yeah, I think he's a good coach too, and I would think he should come back. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes and how that team seemed to roll over, but the thing is that still, it's only a year ago that he was a screen pass to Tyler Goodson away from winning the division with Gardner Minshew, and it was a great call. It was the right call. You don't always have to just run Jonathan Taylor up the middle for 1 yard. The play was open, which is the bad throw from Minshew, a little bit behind Goodson. And now, yesterday, they scored 33 points. That's on the defense.
Joe
They're giving
Flacco.
up 45. So, yeah, I think the move there is probably that's it for Gus Bradley.
I mean, yeah, you have to make a change in the defenses. It's been uncompetitive.
Yep.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest RotoWorld fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.